Yes, we're back. What a long summer that was, by the way. Jesus. It was nearly as long as what we've just had to take there to dust off our computers. That's why we're running a little bit late. Both of us had a little few updates today because it's been that long since we've been on. So, as always, you've got 60 seconds. Go and grab yourself a drink because it's going to get tasty. Cheers. Oh, Gary, I've missed that music.
I have.
What kind of summer you had? All right.
A long one.
A long one.
It's been
I've been down with my wife and kids and the see my right, so we'll continue.
Time to leave them again.
Hey, lads. Yeah, we are. Right, look, I'm getting this up on the so I'll go on, well, not gone off, I'll be on the side, but I'm not actually, because I'll be on the next page. But let's talk about the transfers for the first half, Gary, of what's been happening in the transfer window. It's been kind of active for a lot of teams and others, but one team in particular haven't had a great deal of luck, really. We'll come to that, but we'll work through them in alphabetical order, mate. I'll add this to the stage, and hopefully that works. Bosh, yes, right. So we'll start with Arsenal, mate. Obviously, they've released Jorginho, him, Lion for Kieran Tierney, end of the loan for Raheem Sterling, Neto Tavares, and Marquinhos has been transferred out as well. And so has Tomiyasu. They've brought in, mate, Kepa from Chelsea and Zubamendi from Real Sociedad, Christian Norgard from Brentford, Madueke again from Chelsea, Mosquera from Valencia, and the big one of the summer for them, Gary, was Victor Gyökeres. How would you rate Arsenal's transfer window so far?
I mean, there's a few in there that, I mean, obviously Norgard, it's an experienced signing that he's a good player for Brentford. And I think that was just sort of like a replacement for Partey, who at work, by the way, I think was discussing that allowed him to play for the club. And what was going on behind that, I think was discussing. But I think so. I think that's a good sign. Like for the rest, the jury will be out throughout the season, which I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go for more Premier League proven. I know they did with Madueke, which I thought was strange because. Obviously, he plays in the same position as Saka. So had they brought him in as a replacement for Saka in the future, is Saka maybe thinking, am I going to end up at Real Madrid? Because there's a few things going on at Real Madrid at the minute. Obviously, that Rodrigo, if he leaves, who are they? They'll be looking to bring someone in if they get 100 million. I'm thinking, is there something in that for Real Madrid? I don't know, because obviously there's change, isn't there? And one seems to flick the next one and the next one and the next one. If Savinho against the Spurs, which they're talking about this morning, does that have a knock-on effect for the rest? It might. I don't know. But I'm surprised they didn't get some more Premier League proven players, if I'm honest.
Can you understand why they brought Kepa in? Because I thought David Raya did all right for Arsenal. I didn't think that's where they needed to improve, really. I think they needed a striker. Everybody knew they needed a striker, but Kepa.
I don't know. Did he? I mean, I think he had a decent season for Bournemouth on loan, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
That's where he was last season on loan at Bournemouth. I think he'd done that right, but I think he's there as backup rather than starting. Like, I think Real be the number. I think Real be the number one.
Interesting. And obviously, we'll talk about quickly. Well, I just want to quickly say it's mental, like how all right, Man United's rivals is like Liverpool and City, and there's not a lot happens, is there, between the two clubs where players go into each other's clubs, but doing in London
at all.
Arsenal seem to like always be
quite happily for Chelsea and stuff.
I wonder how the fans feel about that. Like you're kind of a feeder club, aren't you? If you're Chelsea for Arsenal, or they're just getting rid of that crap to Arsenal. How do you see it?
It's definitely a strange one, I think. But obviously, they must look at it more as like a business as opposed to like personal threat. I think like if it's good money, they seem quite happy to do it. If the player wants to do it, they don't seem to hold grudges. Just like, right, bump, move on. He doesn't want to be here. He's had his turned gone. Fair enough. But it's a bit strange. Like you say, it's not something that happens up in the north, really, is it?
Nah. I think there's a problem with the comments, but we'll just come back to that in a minute. Right, we'll move on, Gary. We'll flick through them. Aston Villa, they've signed Oscan from Kasım-Pasa. They've released Olsen, Beanie, Richards, House, Rashford. Obviously, was the end of loan. He's went to Barcelona. Asensio, Disasi, Hayden, Redmond has come in. He's come from Feyenoord. Coutinho transferred out to Vasco da Gama. Quite a few gone out. Desert's come in. Sissy's come in. And Hussen's come in from unknown clubs, really. So, considering the kind of season that Aston Villa had last season, would you say that's a poor window?
I think part of the reason why they didn't do the Rashford deal, I think they were one of the teams that was going to be like struggling with the PSR, because I think the players that they've got is on like quite high wages to sign them in the first place. And obviously they didn't have high revenue. I think if you remember just at the end of last season, they were one of the teams that done what Chelsea done, they sold the women's team, didn't they? To gain income, and I think that sort of like bailed them out where they didn't have to sell the main players. I think that saved their bacon, and then the rest looks like it's just one out, one in sort of thing. Not really big money signings, probably bringing them in on lower wages, thinking like we need to steady the ship a bit here. That's the way it looks, doesn't it?
I'm out for it, mate. I just think the day of like paying stupid amounts of money for players is on its way out. It's got to be, because how many times do people put a price on somebody's head and they end up it ends up folding them? We've seen it loads. Whereas if you look at Brighton and Newcastle, like Newcastle brought in unknowns really, and Isaac and Bruno, and they nurtured them, and now they're worth a fortune. I think that's going to be the way forward for every club, not just like the big six, so to say, for every club. It's got to be. So Brighton have made an absolute killing from doing it. So you could be right, mate. It could be that, like bring them in and nurture them and,
try and coach them.
Make them into players. Aye, try to coach them. Do your job.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Aye, do your job. Kai Simpson's been on in the message, so they're coming through on Facebook. Reckon that PSG are selling Donnarumma as they haven't offered him a decent contract. He's refusing to sign the contract given to him, and so full relationship between club and players broke down completely. He will be sold this window as he only has 1 year left in his contract. Don't want him leaving on a free. Just throwing that in for a discussion point. Aye, it's a good one. We'll talk about it when we come to Man United, Kai, because that's exactly where he's coming. Yeah,
he's been left out of the Super Cup squad as well, hasn't he? So they obviously didn't want him to leave for free. I think they wanted to sign a new deal. He refused, so they went and bought a new keeper and said, right, fair enough.
Who they bought?
Cavalier or something from Lille. 40 million, and they're saying he's the new number one. So they're obviously like not going to be held to ransom for goalkeepers like dictating how much they're going to make and stuff like that, which is good.
It's saying anybody couldn't. They are the best team in the world at the minute. Like the Champions League final showed to me, and the majority of that Club World Cup, how good they are. Honestly, you could knock me out with a feather when Chelsea did to them what they did to them. I don't think anybody's seen that coming. Hats off to Chelsea, by the way, because that's an absolutely tremendous display. But I was watching PSG on the run-up of it, and then obviously in the Champions League final, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. This is like exactly like Mbappe has left, thinking he's gone to Real Madrid to win better. As soon as they're getting rid of him, like they've all come together as a unit, and it just shows you that you don't need big money players. You just need players who are on the same team as you. You know what I mean?
Just a team.
Aye, just a team. Let's move on. We'll go to Bournemouth quickly. The brought in Lorient, Truffet from Rennes, and Petrovic from Chelsea. They have lost the likes of Kirkes, Rothwell, Travers, Neto, Aarons, Jebison, Kepa, obviously that we've just talked about. Huijsens gone to Real Madrid, and Anthony. Is that a bad window for Bournemouth, mate, do you think?
Absolutely. Like, they have literally lost, like, they've lost like quite a bit of their back line there, haven't they? I mean, the goalkeeper, the twos. Am I right in thinking that second centre half is he just signed for PSG the day? Is that who it was? Obviously, the Houston's went Real Madrid, but I'm sure the other centre half, Zuyonde or something. I'm sure he's just signed for PSG the day. I mean, they're getting good money for them too. But they're gonna, and then Kirkes, that's 40 million. You tag on the best part of what, 61, 20, maybe it's 150 million for three of their players. Mm-hmm. They've got to reinvest it. They've got to.
Well, you know, they are. It sounds awful, but they have to be a selling club. They have to bring players in, nurture them, and sell them, and that's how they will end up being a big club. Because eventually they'll not need to sell their big players because they'll have plenty of money in the bank. The PSR will be flying because they've made a lot more than they've ever sold, bought. So, you know, that's...
I didn't... Absolutely. It is. Absolutely. I didn't mean spend like the whole 150. I mean, even if you spend 75 on three players to replace them three, and with a bit of potential, keep 75 to keep the books, and you're well in surplus. It's the right way to do for teams like that, but like extend your ground. You know what I mean? Just try and reinvest. You've got to.
Because they're a great little club, and it's a great away. I love it. I love Bournemouth. Fly straight into Southampton. It's fantastic. It's a good day, and I like what they're about. So I think
area, really good area. Really good area. They should have hotels on there, like for like if it's away fans or anything, because it's a small ground. And if there's much around it, but if they put hotels and stuff there, exactly, they've got potential to grow because of where it is.
Aye, definitely. Let's move on, mate. We're going to Brentford. Again, we've released Ben Mee. He hasn't gone anywhere up to now. What's the more notable? Flecken. Flecken's gone to Bayern Leverkusen. Norgard's obviously gone to Arsenal. Cracking player, by the way. Who else? They've lost Mbembo to us, obviously. Peters to Feyenoord, and they've loaned out a few. They've brought in Pierre from Villa, Henderson from Ajax, Milambo from Feyenoord, Kelleher from Liverpool, Donovan from
City, and great signing that.
Kelleher.
Aye, I think he's an excellent goalkeeper, mate.
Aye. And Coyote from Fiorentina. So, what do you rate to return their window, mate?
I mean, they've lost a few, but they've obviously brought a few in. So, like exactly what was said with Bournemouth, isn't it? There's no two ways about it. They've got to be a selling club. They don't have like a great deal of money to spend, so that Mbembo one's massive for them, isn't it? 70 million. And then you're getting rid of a few more, brought a few in. You're in surplus again. That's what they need to be doing. You just need one or two good players to turn out where they can make good profit on, and they keep doing it.
Did you think about? Did you think that they were trying to hold the ransom out on Mbembo, or do you think it was done backstage and it was all a little dotting the I's? And
I think it was Man United wanted it on their terms, didn't they? They want to be paying it over the 5 year. from what we're reading, it looked like Brentford wanted more front, but it looks like we got our way, didn't we? And that's the way they're trying to do these deals, which means that you can do 4 or 5 really big signings, what we've been doing.
We'll come to it.
Spread them over.
Hold it. We'll come to it. Honestly, I'm ready to let loose. Just quickly, you going Fulham, lads? Yes, I'll be there, Liam. Are you? And we'll move on quickly. Brighton and Hove Albion, who are seen as, well, in my eyes, one of the best for doing transfers. They brought in Tommy Watson from Sunderland, Young from Kostelos from Olympiacos, Coppola from Verona, Raman from Frankfurt, Boskagli from PSV, De Kuiper from Club Brugge, Sean Coe from Dundalk, and Coffee Shaw from Bristol Rovers. So they've probably brought in about 500 million there and paid about 40 million. Transfers out, though. They have lost Pedro to Chelsea. They've lost Barker to Strasbourg. Any more notable ones? Sunderland there. They've bought Adingra. Any more? Loan out. Evan Ferguson has been loaned out to Roma. That is an interesting one, Gary, to look on. Esteban has gone to AC Milan. And, they're the most. What do you reckon? How do you rate that window, mate, for Brighton?
I mean, João Pedro. Wait, they've lost both their strikers, haven't they? João Pedro and Evan Ferguson. So, will they struggle for goals this season?
Liam Harvest potentially believe it to us as well. It's looking likely.
That's it. I mean, they could be losing like quite a few like other good players there. I mean, João Pedro. I mean, we said last season, what a player. If he wasn't.
He's gone to Chelsea. You see Delap's face yesterday when he scored again.
Wounded,
like. But you know what? That's absolutely shit advice from an agent. Why would you surely you'll be asking, am I going to be the only striker? Or are you bringing in others? Or, what kind of game time? Am I going to be a first team squad? Am I going to be rotation? Or what? Liam Delap can score goals and he's a proper old school forward. But João Pedro is better in my eyes. And
he's going to be starting.
He's going to be starting, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He's there literally in case, for backup. That's what he's there for.
You should have went to us on Newcastle.
Should have. I think both teams wanted him. Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Absolutely.
But we'll move on. We'll crack on. Burnley, welcome back to the Premier League. Burnley, I'm looking forward to your away game because it's a cracker. The protein.
It is. Anyone that's never been to Burnley, done away, you've got to go. It's proper old school, little old social club in the cricket ground. Pie and peas and a pint for $2.50 or something. It's absolutely mint, isn't it?
That is mint. They brought in Humphreys from Chelsea, Anthony from Bournemouth, Edwards from Sporting, Fleming from Millwall. They've also brought in, so they've been quite active, Weiss, Hartman, Tunzabi, Tuchauna, Kyle Walker from City. That's a good one. And Lawson. And also Ugo Chukwu, Brafka and Broja. So some good signings there, Gary. Yes, some of them are aging, but they've got a lot of experience there with a young team. And they seem to have quite a good, off the pitch, seems to be going quite well for them as well. So how do you rate their transfer window, mate, so far? And how do you see them doing?
It's interesting what they've done with, obviously, the other teams that's come up, they have one a little bit gung-ho and bought quite a few players as well. But Scott Parker's obviously, he's been in the Premier League, the last few years now as manager. Obviously, a couple of different clubs, but he's using that experience, isn't he? And what he's decided is he's going to go for players that's been there and done it. Obviously, they've brought Dubravka in, they've brought Walker in from City, which is an excellent signing, by the way. There's some Premier League proven in there, so it'll be interesting to see. I was thinking they'd be straight back done, but looking at it, you've got to give them half a chance, I think.
Aye, I agree with you, mate. Definitely. I'm looking at the release. It's John Shelby, Redmond, etc. James Trafford obviously went to City, which was surprising. What do you make of that? Is he gone there? Is he gonna be starting, or is Edison?
To be honest, I didn't think it was. I think he was nailed on against Newcastle. He was nailed on against Newcastle, but there was something in his contract that said if City came in, that he basically had to go there, and I think they sort of done that, didn't they?
It's crap if they do what they've done to a load of young'uns, and they're getting him there just to sit on the bench because he's a good goalkeeper and he deserves to be playing in the Premier League as well. Which is what he would have been doing. He would have been starting every week for Burnley. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll move
and they've
on.
Still got Ortega, haven't they?
Aye, good keeper.
So they've got 3 good keepers there, really.
Yeah.
And apparently they're showing interest in Donnarumma as well. So I mean,
pathetic. Not a worry. Chelsea, mate, we might be here a while. Hugo's in, Delap's in, Sar's in, Pedro's in, Gittins is in, Derry's in, Hato's in, Estevo's in, out, Broja, Guji, Gui, Dewsbury Hall, Sar, Castellane, Perez, Smith, Felix is gone, Al Nassr, stupid, unbelievable. But you gotta blame them for the money that they're offering. Like it's life changing, isn't it? Bettelini, obviously Kepa, it's gone to Arsenal and Humphreys. So really, not really as many as what I thought. They're on about buying another centre back now as well. How do you rate that window for Chelsea, and how do you see them doing, mate, after watching them in that Club World Cup final?
Their outs and ins, they've definitely improved their squad, I think. And then obviously adding to what they already had, they're starting to look like a bit of a team. Colwell injuries obviously bad because he's been really good for them. But again, I'm not sold on Chelsea completely. I know they won that Club World Cup, but I mean, 2 bad mistakes from PSG. I know the hell didn't they beat them anyway. But I didn't put them as one of the favourites for the title. Still,
we'll do that before the end of the show. We'll do a prediction of where you think what the top 10 will be, at least, and who you think will get relegated. We'll
try and get other people in the signings the season so far as well. Predictions,
put things on there. But it's my first one back, and we've been missing for a while now, so we've got a canny few on. But the comments is few and far between. We've got Kai and Liam there, so hopefully they build up a little bit because we're back and we're back for the whole season. Hey, I have to stop doing that. We need to be, aye. Anyway, Crystal Palace, mate. They've seen leave the door. Ward, Schlupp, Molden. They've loaned out Imre, Adobe, Adorama, Oza, Holden, Derry, Ebiui, and they've brought in Sosa and Benitez. Pretty poor from Crystal Palace. And I personally, especially more so now after the Charity Shield, well done, Crystal Palace, by the way. I'm over the moon that you beat Liverpool. Sorry, Kai. Eze and Mateta, I think they're going to end up, and if they do go, mate, they are in trouble, especially with the window that they've had so far. What do you reckon?
I think their biggest aims for the transfer window was to keep Eze, keep Mateta, keep Wharton, and try and get Gueye a new deal. It doesn't look like that's going to happen with Gueye, but I think Wharton, Mateta, and Eze get into most teams.
I can't go Wharton if we couldn't get Belieber.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, he was class yesterday, unreal.
He is.
He just makes it look so simple football, doesn't it? He does.
He gets in most teams in the Premier League.
Oh, 100 million %, mate. 100 million %. So pretty poor, and they've obviously just lost their appeal for the Europa League, so they're gonna end up in the Conference League, aren't they?
It's still European football for them, so they just enjoy the run, don't they?
It is, but it's shit that
It is.
Especially, after, winning the FA Cup and getting there through merit, not through a back door, through merit. And, having a taken away for you because your owner is in cahoots with another owner who's in that. That's just absolutely mental. Just keep politics through the football. Let let them own who they want to own, as long as it's run properly and they're not like one's not really suffering because of the other. If they're both doing all right, then fair dues, and they clearly are because they're both in the Europa League. So let them play in the Europa League. Honestly, I don't get it. Like,
million percent. Or there should have been a sanction where they said at the beginning of the season, hold on, if you get to the final of this cup and win it, obviously you've got an owner which has got a conflict interest, but with two clubs potentially, this is what the outcome will be.
Yeah,
like just make it like black and white. Like that's what I say.
Aye, definitely, mate. Moving on to Everton, who's obviously got the new stadium to look forward to as well. I'm looking forward to getting down into that to see how that goes. Ashley Young, he's gone. Begovic, Vagina. Virginia's gone. Decoria's gone. Harrison, Lindstrom, Mangala, Broja, Holgate, Mope, and Metcalf are all gone. They've only brought in so far Alcaraz from Flamengo, Barry from Villarreal, Travers from Bournemouth, Aslu from Bayern Munich, and Dewsbury Hall from Chelsea. Is that enough? Or do you think they'll struggle?
I think they might. Is there someone missing off that or not? Have they not just signed someone else?
Not that I know of. Oh, no. Jack Grealish. I'm sure he's just went.
Jack Grealish. Aye, here we go. I was thinking there's someone else. Brilliant signing.
Oh, definitely.
He needs to be playing 90 minutes week in, week out. And I think there's definitely a player in there still.
Yes.
I think it's a good move for him. He needed it. And I think he shines at Everton, to be honest. Like, I really do.
I do. Put him on the pitch, mate. He's a danger. It's as simple as that. And you've obviously got Calvert-Lewin in the middle, who'll be on the end.
No, he's left.
Who?
Calvert-Lewin. It was the end of his contract, wasn't it? So his contract was up.
There,
so he's left as a free. He hasn't got a club.
Wow.
So he's sitting there.
Quite a lot, but he scores. He can score goals. That bloke, like. I don't know why, like one of these new clubs like Sunderland or Burnley or Leeds, haven't gone in for him. Then, if that's the case, because you've done a job.
They might do. Yes.
Who's the other striker they've got? Better. Is that what he's called?
Aye.
You'll definitely create chances. Jack Grealish. Like, move on to Fulham, mate. We'll just quickly. These haven't had a lot of activity. They've lost quite a few. They're released and loaned out, and they've only brought in Lecomte from Montpellier. Do you see them struggling?
Now that I've seen that, I do, because I'm sure Leeds is in for that Muniz, another striker that was scoring all the goals. I'm sure that they're all over them for this Muniz. So if they want to lose him, then definitely.
Leeds United, I agree with you, by the way. Leeds United, quite a lot going out, maybe 6 or 7, but they've brought in about 8 or 9. The more notable ones is from Wolfsburg. There, they brought a couple of players in, and Liverpool, they brought that young'un in, and Sean Longstaff joined from Newcastle, who I think is a proper Premier League midfielder. He reminds us of Scott McTominay, mate. He just does the job. He can score goals, he can tackle, he'll track back, he creates a bit. I can see why Newcastle sell him, mate, because obviously they've got a lot going on in midfield at Newcastle, but.
And he wants to be playing, probably, doesn't he? It's fair to give him that opportunity to go and play, and it's like I get he doesn't want to leave. Like it's his home, it's like his hometown, but he's got to think of his career, and I'm pleased he has, because he could have quite easily. They probably offered him just to stay there and just like pick minutes up here and there, just while on the bench. But I'm pleased that he's like not settled for that and like actually went and played football. It's a short career, and really so.
And he does a lot for the community locally as well. So I wish him no but good luck, Sean Longstaff. Like, not Leeds, obviously I don't like Leeds, but Sean Longstaff, in particular, I do. Moving on to Liverpool, the Scousers, they've had quite a window so far. Obviously, they lost Alexander Arnold. They probably lost him 2 years ago. The way he was speaking Spanish, he wanted to leave there. He definitely didn't learn that in 2 weeks, did he?
He did.
They lost Keller. Cornes, I'm not even going to try and attempt half these names because I'll just look stupid. but they've lost a canny few. Luis Diaz there has gone to Bayern Munich. I like that bloke. And Darwin Núñez finally gets his transfer out, but he goes to the Sunday League in Al Hilal. They brought in, though, Will Wright from Salford, which is surprising, but they've obviously seen something in him, and Gary Neville will be out of the moon with that. They brought in Hugo Ekitike from Frankfurt, who scored yesterday.
Looks a decent player.
He does. Freddie Woodman has come in. Kirkes has come in. Pexy's come in. Frimpong's come in from Bayern Leverkusen. But as much as I hate Liverpool, I've got to say I'm really looking forward to watching Florian Wirtz play, mate, because I like the way he plays football. I think he just oozes class, mate. Just a shame.
Yeah, he does. He does. He looks a really good player. It's whether he'll be able to sustain it. Like now, like say he's in the midfield up against the likes of like Joe Linton, like the bigger players and stuff. It depends how he handles them sort of battles, because there's some hard hitting midfielders in the Premier League. Like obviously he looks a little bit lightweight, but it's not that he cannot work on. But he does look a good player. But Liverpool on the whole, like I think their issues, and I think it's at the back. They just teams look like they can work through them, and that's because they can. Even Jamie Carragher said it after yesterday. He was like, I think the jury's out for Van Dijk. I know he's been mint for them, but the way that Sarr and Mateta and that yesterday, they literally just walk past him. Like he just cannot play that line anymore. He just cannot. And we knew it was coming. And then to add to that, he's got a new right fullback, which is he looks more like a right winger to me. That Frimpong, and then you've got Cook is a new left back. A lot of changes. A lot of changes.
Back four. Yeah,
it's a lot of changes.
Got a goalkeeper behind them, mind, but that
absolutely.
It's a big goal, and he's just 6'4", whatever he is. I agree with you, Gary. I think this is the season Van Dijk gets funded. I think he'll get bullied. He's not the player that he was 5 years ago. And if Liverpool hadn't gotten as many points at the beginning of the season last year, they had a terrible run in, and I think they would have lost the league had they had a decent somebody who was challenging them,
chasing them.
Pressure would have got to them. I cannot see them win the league this year, but we will get to that. And
I do think on the back of that, I still think that after that yesterday, I think they'll go and sign Guehi from Palace.
They need a centre half.
That's what I think they'll do.
They need a centre half, because who they got apart from that? They've got that young and that comes in now and then, who's totally unpredictable, and they've got
Gomez, but he gets injured quite a bit.
Gomez,
there's not a load to pick from, is there?
No, definitely not. Moving on, Manchester City.
You know, when you mentioned that Freddie Woodman before, was he at Newcastle?
Preston North has got this. I'm not sure. Somebody may be able to tell in the comments if he was but
Freddie Woodman, I just recognise that name from a local team. I'm sure he was.
Maybe he's gone to Preston to get some game time. Manchester City, they have lost De Bruyne, obviously. Big loss, and Napoli's gain, along with the Ballon d'Or nominee, Scott McTominay. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. They've lost Wright, Carson, Kaki, Kyle Walker, Mbamba, Peroni, Pussy, and Reese. Talking about pussies. Dobby beat Pussy the other night, didn't he? Dobby smashed Pussy the other night. Well done, Dobby. James Trafford's come in, obviously, what we've just been mentioning. Naipan's come in. Rage does? How do you spell that?
Reinders.
Cherky, Bettinelli, and Nuri from Wolves. So not really big names as such, but Nuri's a good player. I like him.
He is a good fullback.
I don't really speak of the rest, mate. I don't really know, apart from that Reinders. I've obviously seen him playing now and then, but not enough to speak about. But how do you rate that window, considering the terrible season that Manchester City had last season?
I think they were soft in the middle, weren't they? They were hoping that obviously Rodri would be back, but then he's injured again apparently until after the international break. And he's 20. Is he 29 now, or is he something like that? He's just had a really bad injury, so it depends how he comes back from it. I think. You've just lost Grealish, and if you lose Savinho as well, who does that leave them with? Doku, and then an aging Bernardo Silva is your out and out wingers.
Me like,
Doku
does indeed for me like.
No, that's what I mean. So I think there's still big transfers to be done at City.
He's another Jack Grealish, isn't he? Really? He's very similar.
It's just, he hasn't
between him and that kid that was at the Toon, St. Maximum.
He's a bit of a headless chicken, isn't he? I can see too. I can see a big signing going to City yet. Like,
I think they need one. Martin Cairns, evening mate, I hope you're well. He says, good to have you back, lads. Woodman was at the Toon, Gary.
I thought I recognised the name, like.
Aye. Liam Harper saying that City are in for Rodrigo. That'll be a good signing for them. I like him. I like them since that. Was it the Champions League where he came on and ended up winning it for them?
Mm-hmm. Cracking player. I like him until he gets there, and then I'll not.
Aye, same. Moving on. I'm going to leave Man United. Oh, no. How well? We'll just do No, we'll leave Man United and we'll come back to Man U in the Toon. Forest. Just quickly flick through this because we are cracking on here like it's flu hour. Jesus has come in. That's them win the league. Yaha. Jakuna. Matthias's long-lost cousin. Nudui. And Gunn. So a few signings, but nowhere near as many as what they're normally doing. They have lost quite a few as well. Obviously, Anthony Langer's one of them. We'll talk about that in a minute when we come to Newcastle. Lewis O'Brien's gone. Turner, Powell, and Dale Taylor's gone to Blackpool. So how do you see Forest doing? Obviously, they had a mint season last season. Do you think they'll have the same kind of season, Gary, or do you think that's it?
I think keeping Morgan Gibbs White was probably one of their best signings, if I'm being totally honest. They need him in that team, like, and the centre half I think is absolutely class. Milinkovic. Absolutely mentally. I can't
believe somebody hasn't got in for him. He's unbelievable.
Maybe they have, and they've just been like quoted absolute crazy money because he is really good, isn't he?
Very, very good. He's probably one of the best in the Premier League, in my opinion.
And in all honesty, like the guys that you've mentioned that's come in there, I didn't really know much about them, to be honest. So I couldn't really comment.
We'll move on, Gary, to Sunderland. Sunderland have been very active. You know, they've come up. You know, they probably didn't expect to come up, if they're being honest with themselves, but they've come up, and he has invested, mate, and he's invested well as well. So there's been a few transfers out, like Joby Bellingham. They're getting good money for him off Dortmund. Nathan Bishop, Tommy Watson, and Matty Young, to name a few. But the players that have come in, some good signings in amongst them. One notable one is Xhaka, who's going to sit in the middle of that midfield there. He's been made captain straight away, came in from Bayer Leverkusen. But they've bought Mandava from Atletico Madrid as well. And they've also bought Sadiki, Diarra. And the one for me, which I think was vital, is Enzo Lafay, because I think he's absolutely fantastic. I really do. I honestly, I've got high hopes for him. I think he'll have a fantastic season this year. And the striker, who I think is actually really, really good. He scores for fun, Gary, and he'll probably have this season at Sunderland, and then they'll end up making a lot of money off Lafay and off that striker because they'll go for big money.
Who is Isidore?
Isidore, aye, really good. He knows where the net is.
Because who was the young lad? I think he's just signed a new contract, and he probably put a release clause in, give him a raise, like the young one that scored in the final. He was a bit of a live wire, wasn't he?
No, he went to Brighton.
Did he?
Aye, it was already signed and sealed that he was going to Brighton before that game. Let us just flick back to Brighton. But I'm pretty sure that was the case. Like, Brighton. Tommy Watson, is that him?
No, he's the coloured kid.
Adingra. Yeah.
Nah, he's come in, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, I don't know.
So, someone
It was that
on
Tommy
here-
Watson that scored in the last minute, wasn't it?
No, not that one. The one before that. The one in normal time.
Right. I don't know then. Maybe have a search on your phone, Gary. I can't because mine's linked to this.
Mayenda.
Mayinda. Oh,
Mayenda.
he's still there, isn't he?
Aye, that's what I said. He's just signed a new contract. But he looks like a decent player.
Yeah. Right, let's move on. But Sunderland, I think, will have a good year. A really good year.
In the second half, we'll get the predictions in. Who we think's gonna
Aye.
win? And
Quickly, but I think we've only got a couple of clubs left here, Gary, and then we'll flick on to Man United in the tune. Tottenham Hotspur. They've obviously lost Reguilon, Son lately. He's gone out of America. Timo Werner, end of loan. Højbjerg's transferred out. And Jesus, there's quite a few gone there, like. And they brought in Palhinha from Bayern Munich, and they already had him, obviously, but he's loaned in. Kudus, Takai, McFadden, Matthias Tell. So that must be it's been transferred in because he was on loan money.
I think with an option to buy.
Aye, so they bought him. Vuskovic from wherever, and Danso. What kind of season do you think Spurs are gonna have, mate? And what do you rate their window to 10?
It's a lot of changes again, isn't it? Like, Kudus is a good signing, but you've lost Son. I don't know. I think they were poor at the back as well last season. I didn't think they created much. So obviously they've lost Maddison, who created quite a bit for them last season. I still think they need someone in the middle of the park.
But I like that young'un, but he's not like in every game. He's 1 out of 3 games. He has a good game. All the big games, he seems to do all right. Now, the blonde kid who was at United, I liked him. Premier League's hard, isn't it, mate? It's hard, and if you're not on the ball every game, then you get funded. And he got funded a few times last season, but when he was on it, he was unplayable. He was very good. West Ham, Gary, they've released loads of players, and they've brought in Tobido, Cummins, Diouf, Peters from Southampton, Wilson from Newcastle, and Hermanson from Leicester City. But they've obviously lost Antonio, bless him, to that dreadful crash. Kodia, Forbes, Moa, Kelly, Zuma has gone, the cat attacker. Evan Ferguson, Cresswell, Fabianski, Kufal, Ing. So they've lost a few. They've brought a few in. Do you think they'll struggle, Gary?
Because Kudus is like he's a good player for him. He scored them like a lot of goals. I just cannot see. I just cannot see why Bowen's still there. I think he deserves like a better club, if I'm being honest. And that's because probably his connections were like the Dyers and stuff. Like he probably feels more loyal to them. Like he's a proper like London boy, isn't he? Oh, but I'm surprised he isn't getting a bigger move. Me, like I really am.
He needs one. He needs one.
He does. He does. He's a good player.
I thought Newcastle were gonna go in for him. To be honest, there was a lot of talk about it.
Was that? But you're looking to run them there now. I mean, they're going to struggle, I think. I think they're really going to struggle.
Yeah. And finishing before we go to Man U and Tunis, Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've released quite a few as well, mate. And they've brought in Bieno, Lopez, Larson from Celta Vigo, Arias from Fluminense, and Wolf from AZ Alkmaar. But like you said, there's a lot of reds there.
And obviously,
one is Matthias Cunha, who's come to Man United, who was that.
And Aït-Nouri, it's their left-hand side, that isn't it?
Aye.
Which was where they scored probably the majority of the goals last season, was coming through them two players. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a bit of a worry for them, that.
Aye, it is. See the 2 W's gone down. Right. Then we're going to Manchester United. We've obviously released Christian Eriksen, Evans, Lindelof, Jovi, Gore, Hugo, Harrison, Rashford, Vitek, Wheatley, and Morehouse. We brought in Benjamin Sesko, Brian Mbembo, Diego Leon, Matthias Cunha. Is that enough, or do we need more gone, and do we need any more in, Gary?
Oh, so definitely need more gone. We've got to be able to get. I mean, Sancho looks like he's turning doing clubs left, right, and centre. I don't understand what he's holding out for or who he thinks he is. I mean, I know you can sit there and take your wages, but he's only got a year left. Allegedly turned down like 200 grand a week off Chelsea on a 4-year contract, 4 or 5 year. I don't understand why he wouldn't agree to that. Like, looking at the direction that team's gone in. And then you've got Rashford. I mean, I wish him all the best. You know, get yourself out there, go and sort your head out if that's what it is. Get yourself away from the people that's around you in Manchester, or if that's what it is. But and then you've got Garnacho. I didn't get that kid. You've probably seen in the news today when he's getting his tattoo and he's sitting there vaping. I mean, what the hell? I mean, Chelsea, surely they're looking at that new and gone,
nah, none of that.
He is a very big problem, and I want him nowhere near this club.
Do you know what? As the picture went out, Melvin was in the back of the car, and he said, "He's seen this, Dad." And I goes, I says, he's an absolute little knob jockey, mate. I says, he's getting transported wherever he wants in the best of the best transport. He's staying in the best of the best hotels, getting flown around the world. And on top of that, he's got the best cars. He's got the best lifestyle. He's got and he's making what you make in 2 or 3 years per week, all for playing for a club. And that's how he goes on. Honestly, I can never get my head around why players do this. Like, I get it if you want to move away. I get it. And what you've just been saying about Sancho there, he's not going to accept any kind of drop in wage. He will sit on the bench because he knows next year his agent will get him a 30 or 40 million pound move. And it's, well, not a move because he's free, but obviously that money then goes into his pocket. So the 350 grand or whatever he's getting off Man United, if you divide that by the wages that he'll get next year because he'll be on a free, you might as well say he's on 700 grand a week. Of course he's going to sit on the bench. He's going to be nigh on impossible to move on. Like, I think Anthony will get a move because he's kept shut. He's kept quiet. He hasn't bad moved anybody. He's just getting on with it.
Well, Rashford did he? He says no. He come in and he says, look, like, it's not happened the way I wanted. I never wanted to leave Man United, but it's the way things happen. Now we're moving on. I wish them all the best.
I don't know if you've been watching like the highlights and that of him. He looks well in the Barcelona in the Barcelona team.
He will do well in that team. I mean, he missed the setup, but he will do well.
He shoots it, and he missed the setup, but then he set up what do you call him? You know, like for his goal, not long after. But he got in that position and he was moving and he was running back. And you're right, what you're saying, that might be what he needed to get away from money. And all because I mean, Peter's on here saying money, money, money. He's right. It's money, money, money. They're all talking about money. They're forgetting, you know, like it's a 15-year window career. That's all you've got. Try and be the best you can. Look up to Ronaldo. People call Ronaldo, but that man has dedicated his life to football and training and being professional. And that's
why he's a billionaire.
Man United, Real Madrid, Juventus, back to Man United, Al Hilal. They all wanted him. Everybody wanted him. And he's back on. Peter saying the players are on board about trophies. They want money, and the agents drive that, so the players don't give a shit. He's right. You've got people who aren't professionals looking after professionals, like agents. Who are they? There's somebody that can sell a dream to somebody. That's it. And they're getting paid.
You advise them about the money. That's what they do, not the project. You'll get the certain ones. You'll get them, but it's the ones that's probably got their dads and stuff that's kind of probably had their best interests at heart. But the ones where you've got a bloke that you don't really know from Adam, apart, like he's a football agent, he hasn't got your best interests at heart. That's why you should have like family members and stuff that people's going to tell you what you need to hear.
Aye. Agents run football. Now clubs have no power in football anymore. Did he know that every player, through their agent, has got their own training program and all? So even though the club owns the player and they've got to go and do their training, they've got training programs off their agent that they must adhere to, like to keep them on top of the game. So you didn't even own the player. Like, you pay all that money for him and you didn't even own him. It's absolutely bonkers. And I've gone back to what I said before. It's coming to an end. These massive money transfers, or maybe it's not transfers, but wages, is coming to an end. It isn't going to happen. It cannot go on like this. Otherwise, you're going to have people demanding £1 billion a week, man. £1 billion a week. What motivation have they got to get up and go and play football? They'll just wait 1 week and say, right, I'm done. Thanks very much.
It's not just that as well, though. It's like you've got players like Garnacho and stuff, and he's come in the media and he's seen vaping. Surely there's a breach in the contract somewhere there that says, like, you're not acting as a sportsman. I mean, my kids, when I come in from work that day, he's 10 years old and he's like, hey, you seen that with Garnacho? He's smoking.
Shocking. It's absolutely shocking.
He's like, he shouldn't be doing that, shouldn't he? Not when he's got to play football. I'm like, no, he shouldn't. You're right. But it's all over. Like, these are seeing it on TikTok, and like, it's easy for them to see it. He should be punished for that. He shouldn't be paid. It's a bad image.
There's got to be something there somewhere that says, like, you're going to get fined, and you're going to get fined heavily. It's as simple as that.
It's a breach.
Liam Harper saying, I personally, right, just gone off subject here, Gary. I didn't want him to leave. I know he had a dreadful season, but he was, look at it from this point of view. The bloke's 19-year-old. He gets chucked into Man United, who are struggling and being told, go and score goals. He had a back problem when he come, so he was out for a little bit, and everything was put on him. Like, he was expected to hold the play up. He was expected to score goals. He was, he had wingers on each wing who didn't want to pass him the ball. They wanted to score that Instagram goal. I think far too much pressure has been put on the young'un. I honestly do. And he hasn't had anybody to relieve him of that pressure, put him on the body collar, watch the other striker out there and want to improve. He hasn't had that. He needs to stay at United and watch Sesko come in and hopefully, score goals. And then he can learn from him as well. The two young'uns, they can just come on, they can run off each other, they can, learn off each other. I honestly think they need to keep Rasmus Højlund. I think he will get better. You've got to give him a chance. You cannot hire him in the deep end, and then, because he didn't come out smelling the roses, say, oh, you need good. You've got to give him a chance. I
think that the only reason he's not getting, I totally agree. Like, I think he should have a chance with the players that they've brought in, because I do think they'll create. I do think you're right. But I think it's gone that far now, and Man United's just this summer, they're using it as a rebuild, and they literally want to do that rebuild in 2 transfer windows. And he is ultimately paying the price to pay the fee of the next player. I honestly believe that he, they sell him, and it means that they can get the midfielder, which we're probably going to move on to, which is Baleba. And I think they get that money in, and they've got a massive chance of signing this player. I think there's an opportunity there, and they're petrified that if they wait till next year, like Brighton said, there's going to be 4 or 5 teams going for him, where now they've got a free run this year. They're willing to sacrifice Højlund for that, because they're not. If he goes on loan and does well, they might put something in there where it says sort of, I don't know, like a sell-on clause, or they might. I don't know, but I just think that Berardi, he's meant to be renowned for giving players 2 seasons. Any more than 2 seasons at your club, and you're not starting to hit them levels, you're gone. And that's what they've done at City over the years, and that's why they've probably been successful.
I'm gonna.
I do think it's harsh. I think it's harsh.
I'm going to say it's a mistake. I think you'll go to AC Milan and you'll score for fun. It's coming. You can see it in him. You've seen the goals that he did score when he scored them when he first came. He can find the back of the net. I don't know. Martin Ken's back on saying whatever happened to Emi Martinez leaving Villa. He was crying and waving by to the
He was like.
And I just think they're putting too much money on him for how old he is. Me personally, I don't think.
I priced him with a remove.
Aye, definitely. Right, we'll move on quickly to finally Newcastle. This shouldn't take long. They brought in Cordero Elanga. Sing-Su. What? Sing-Su Park. Where's he from? Swan Blue Wing. Oh, they brought into Seong Soo Park from Swan Blue Wings and Aaron Ramsdale on loan from relegated Southampton. They've lost Lewis, Kelly, Longstaff, White, Donaldson, Cordero, Hayden, and Dubravka. Gary, we have had some personally, we couldn't have asked for. Let's remove that. How do you remove it? Boom. We personally couldn't have asked Gary with the group that we're in for a better summer window, right? So let us get the fun and banter out the way first, right? We couldn't have asked for a better summer window from Newcastle United and involving Manchester United because Blue Red Peter there, who supports Man City and buy halves and half scarves and guns on tours that he had, and not even though he supports tell us that we were fishing in the wrong pond, Gary, come the end of last season. We finished 15th, but didn't win the Europa League. We're absolutely rubbish. They are mint.
Done. We're done.
They've qualified for the Champions League. They're gonna attract everybody, and everybody that they've gone in for with us have decided to join Manchester United. It was that bad. Peter left the group, didn't he?
He did.
He left the group. He went and got his celibate counselling, and then he's come back in there full of beans, giving him a bit grief, right? So that's the banter out the way, right? That's the banter going, right? Seriously, right? Why does nobody want to join Newcastle? Do you buy into this belief that PSR is absolutely hammering them and they're not able to buy anybody? Or do you think, like me, Gary, that if you haven't got a world-class manager at the helm, no disrespect to Newcastle, because I'm from here, I'm from Northumberland, and I love the area, and it's the greatest place on earth. You'll not meet friendlier people, 100%. But when you're a player and you've got all these agents and whatnot around you, and you're looking on a map or you're looking in the Premier League, and Newcastle's the closest Premier League club to Scotland, right? Or you've got to get connecting flights here, there, and everywhere. It's freezing cold in their eyes. There's not a lot up here. So majority of them will go to Liverpool, Man United, Man City, or they'll go into London, into the capital, where they can get easy flights here, there, and everywhere, right? What do Newcastle need? If they cannot attract them because of the place, what do they need? In my eyes, they need a Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola, somebody like that, a world-class manager who they want to come and play for. Is that right or wrong? Or do you think that what all these are saying in the group? No, we can't. PSR, it's money. You offered more money than we did. That otherwise you would have joined. Surely that cannot be the case, Gary, for every single player that they've been in for, because they've been in for Mbembo, Kuna, Sesko, who else? Name us a couple.
Pedro, did you say?
Ekitike did. No?
Ekitike, then Liverpool went and got him.
Who else? The win for Xhaka. The win for Xhaka, and he went to Sunderland. Seriously, why? Why do you think it's happening? Do you think it's PSR? Or do you think what?
I think obviously Newcastle's like quite new. If I'm being totally honest, and if it is PSR, then the fishing in the wrong pond. That is the top and bottom of it. If PSR is affecting you, like Gallen said, Gallen openly said against, we're like 30 years behind Manchester United against, whether you like it or lump it. We're new to this, like they've been winning stuff for like a long time, so we are a long way behind them. They've had to build this, and he's totally right. So they either get the owners that have got to pump money into the club so it's there, whether that looks like building them a new stadium, buying the women's team, putting hotels around St. James's Park. However that looks, that's what they're going to have to do. It doesn't look like they want to do that because that's how went quiet. They brought a new director of football in that was there. He left on the beginning of the transfer window. Spoke to a couple of people that was quite close to that Paul Dummett, and they reckon apparently that Paul Mitchell wasn't getting enough say on the transfers, and apparently Eddie Howe gets too much say. Apparently they had heads and loggers and he wanted to bring a new coach in. So maybe you're right. Maybe he was looking at what he said before, bringing a new manager in and then him have more say on the incomes. But you've still got to be fishing in the right pond, like what was saying before. You've got to be like, you kind of can't spend 80 million, right, and then paying them 165 grand a week because PSR doesn't let you, right? That's fair enough. Can't spend 40 million and pay it if that's within your budget. Why are you going to fish at 80 million if you cannot then back it up with the wages, or it's leaving you short? Don't do it.
Right. So, let's just say PSR is creating this problem for Newcastle. They've got their hands tied. They didn't want to pay the wages. Blah, 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 blah. We've just gone through the transfers there. Sunderland, the nearest club, right, are paying wages. Yeah? They didn't have anywhere near as many fans at the stadium as what Newcastle had last season. Newcastle had 20,000 more every game, like in a lumpet. They did. The stadium's bigger, blah, blah, blah. The revenue is much higher. They've got the richest owners in the world. Chelsea came in, Todd Bowley, like you say, did what they did. And then they put them all on 10-year contracts, right? So a £100 million player becomes a £10 million player because only 10 million you've got to put into the Premier League every year because that's all you're paying every year. So why, if me, you, and everybody else can see that, why is Newcastle's richest owners in the world not doing it?
I didn't think that. Obviously, you know how I feel about the PIF thing, and I've said it a million times. It's a pension fund. It cannot be high risk. So that's what I honestly believe. I honestly didn't think that money's there just to go and throw. I really didn't. I think it's got to be invested cleverly. But
look, on one hand, they're saying, PSR's got their hands tied, this, that, the t'other. Then they've got somebody offering them 120 million for a player that they paid 60 million for. So there's 60 million straight away, sell them and go and buy another Isak. What do you want? You want the best of all worlds? You've got to live by your means. And it doesn't matter if it's me or you or Newcastle United. You've got to live by your means. What's saying that you should be going out buying all these big name players that all the big clubs are in for?
Well, that was the argument, wasn't it? We didn't go out and buy superstars. We buy players that's got potential. That was what was said. We can't do it. You can't buy three of them.
Aye, but they cannot, and it's worrying. It's worrying for Newcastle, mate, and their fans because they are loyal fans, and you cannot. I mean, look, I'm just gonna quickly get off that for a minute, but Josh Robson's answered his own question. He put in before, but they are joining Man United, who haven't got a world-class manager. It all comes down to the fact that we don't pay anywhere near the wages as the big six do. And then he's put 2 seconds later, don't have anywhere near as many sponsorship deals as the likes of Man United. Well, there you go, mate. You've answered your own question straight away. That's why they're joining Man United. You offered more money for Sesko than we offered, and he took a wage reduction to come to us. And that's because you're looking and you're going, right, who's going to win the league first, Man United or Newcastle? It's always going to be Man United. Man United will win the league before Newcastle. And it's as simple as that. And that's the pull that Man United have still gotten. It's proven this summer when they've attracted these players. So you haven't got that pull. So then your owners need to be thinking on their feet and thinking, right, so what do we do then? Well, they haven't gone for them. Look at this kid here. He's playing in the Italian league. He's playing in, not one of the biggest teams, but he scored 15, 20 goals. Gone in for him. We'll get him for 30 grand, 40 grand. Then you bring him out and you sell him 2 years later because if Eddie Howe's good at anything, he's not a better manager than Ruben Amorim, mind, by the way. Eddie's been relegated. Ruben hasn't. They bring him out and they nurture him, but then you've got to sell him. You've got to sell him. Just like Isak, you've got to sell him. And if somebody come in for Bruno, you've got to sell him, and then you bring somebody else in because you bring somebody else in for 20, you sell him for 120. That's 100 million straight in your PSR. So that's 300 million really because it's treble the value, isn't it? If I'm right, am I right in saying that? So if you do that, say 10 times, that's like, that's nearly £1 billion, isn't it? Or 100 million. You know what I mean? So then that ends up where you can go and buy anybody you want, and you can pay them whatever wages you want to, but do you really want to? Do you really want to go and do that avenue? Because we've just been talking about that, where you end up with the likes of Jadon Sancho and stuff. For me, Alexander Isak really does have to leave because his head's turned. I said this in the group the other day, right? I said,
what are they saying? What are the Toon fans saying on here?
eh?
What are the Toon fans saying on here? What are they saying? Like, what do they think? Because most people I speak to outside of that group think that they should sell him.
Aye. Well, it's only Mick and Dave and that are convinced not to sell him. It's mental. Just sell him. His head's done. Like I said in the group, Gary, right? It's like you going in, right? And you're just coming across your lass's phone and going on, and your lass has been messaging like one of your somebody that you didn't like, saying, I really want to be with you. I went back and come back in the big bed. You wouldn't, would you?
No.
Out. Go on. Get still away with him. Out. And that's he's gonna come out new and he's gonna say, oh no, I didn't want to leave and this, that, and the top. But he does. He wants to leave.
Like his agents, they've come out and they've said, haven't they? Have they not come out and said, like, apparently there was a sort of a gentleman's agreement that he told the club that, like, after, I think it was February, March, that he wanted to leave in the summer and go elsewhere because he'd obviously had a bit of interest. So he's given the club plenty of time to look for that replacement. So why are they not like, let him do that?
I've just put this on, and the first pop I've just heard is Man U will win the league, says Mickey Coulson. You really have lost the plot. You keep saying that we've lost the plot, but look at the club, mate. Look at your club. You can't keep blaming PSR. It's sooner or later, you've got to blame your owners. It's as simple as that. If this was Mike Ashley,
PSR, sell your asset.
If this was Mike Ashley, mate, there would be at St. James's the night. Ashley out. But because they've got this, we're the richest club in the world, these are getting away scot-free. The only decent thing they had was Amanda Staveley and that bloke who she was with. She really devoted herself to the club, but since she's gone, mate, they're not interested, man. And it showed that they're not interested. Who's the director of football? Can you tell me who the director of football is?
Have they got one?
You know what I'm saying? So we've lost the plot. We've lost the plot because we're attacking the truth. You need to wake up and smell the coffee and realize what's going on in front of you. And you need to start protesting or whatever it is that you do. Because I tell you what it is. You call Mike Ashley as much as you call him, right? But he bought players and he kept his like in a positive, nowhere near as bad as what this is. How many players have they bought in the last few years? They bought Anthony Elanga, mate.
For 55 million.
And they're buzzing with it. Elanga couldn't even get Man United's poorest team ever. He went to Nottingham Forest with a bunch of other rejects and they hit it off. Because that's what Forest were. Chris Wood, Elanga, the rest of them, there were a bunch of rejects who couldn't get games for the teams and they hit it off and they did well and they've had a good season like Leicester did. And then you've got likes of Newcastle wasting 55 million quid on them. You've got better wingers than Anthony Gordon and that Harvey Barnes. That's mental. In my opinion, that is absolutely mental behaviour.
Why sell, Gary? That is what PSR is designed for, to strip other teams. It's to make you money.
It's to make money.
PSR is to make you money. You're selling something that you paid 60 million for 130 million or something. You're 70 million in profit. Like Ali says, it times by 3. So you've got 210 million to reinvest. That's if your owners want to put it into the club. But they didn't. That's why they didn't sell them, because however, smell the coffee.
Right.
Wow.
Well, no, I can't believe it. We've still got our predictions to come. Haven't gone anywhere. I'm going to run the ads and we'll be back in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Get in. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us, and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Bed, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation, one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited. Based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. Certas approved, who specialize in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialize in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk, or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com, or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 077787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Mo's. Yeah.
James, he's lost it. He's finally lost it. He's gone.
But you cannot replace on your nut jokes. It's easy. Oh, but we're in bed in the shed with the bed shoes on. Get in. Hey, brilliant.
He's sitting there like this guy.
I bet the dog's getting the boot. Get in. Right. So we're back.
It's just a game, man, Dave.
It's just a game. It doesn't matter. Just crack. Get in. Right, Gary, the Premier League's back this weekend, mate, and we're going to flick through the scores and see what we think. And see if anybody wants to join in the comments. Put your comments in, and we'll see how it goes. We should have maybe started a fantasy league and getting people to join in there, and we could have went through it every week. You should set one up. And we'll put it out. See if anybody wants to join it. Talking turf. We'll do £10 a man, right? And the winner scoops the lot. No, the winner scoops the lot, and bottom place gets the wooden spoon bogey prize, 20 quid or something. Just so it makes it interesting. Like, if you
is that just because you come last all the time?
Get that money back. Get that tenner back. The winner gets the rest. Right? We'll do that. He's set it up though. So the Premier League's kicking off on Friday, mate. In Scousland, Liverpool are hosting Bournemouth. How do you see that going?
I think Liverpool's going to be a bit too strong for them. We've seen the signings, and obviously Bournemouth have lost quite a few. So I'm going to say 3-0 to Liverpool.
3-0 to Liverpool. I'm going to go. I think it'll be tight. I've watched Liverpool yesterday. I expect a lot more. I mean, obviously, they're at Anfield. First game of the season, Friday night, under the lights. I'm going to go for 2-1. 2-1 to Liverpool. Jake Hall's popped in here. He reckons Bournemouth is going to win 1-0. That's a surprising one, Jake. I hope you're right, by the way, mate. We've both got Liverpool getting off to the win. So is Ferry. He's gone for 2-0 to Liverpool. And I don't think there's anybody else come in yet. So we'll move on to Saturday. And Saturday, 12:30 kick-off. Newcastle's opening fixture. The travel away to Aston Villa. The last time they played Aston Villa in the opening game of the season, they won 5-1 convincingly. Do you think that'll happen again, Gary?
I don't. I think Villa at home, I think they'll have too much. I think 2-1 Villa. I think it'll be close, but I think Villa will make it.
I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be 5-1 again. But to Villa.
Just to Villa.
I do. I'm gonna go 5-1 to Villa. I think they'll have it out for them. Newcastle are, they're vulnerable. They haven't bought anybody. They've got 4 days left until that opening fixture. They're going down to Villa Park. It's a hard ground to go into. I think Villa will get an early goal. followed by another one just before half time. It'll be 2-0 at half time. Second half will come out 3-0, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. That's how I think it's going to go, and they'll repay the favour. Jake Hall reckons it'll be 3-1 to Villa, and Leif Fairgrieve thinks the wheels have come off. 4-0 to Villa. So everybody seems to think Villa, and I don't think there must be any Newcastle. I think we've scared all the Newcastle fans off. But the truth is...
Dave Shed.
All right. Mick's saying, we bought Ramsdale and Langer. Have you lost the plot, pal? I think you've lost the plot. You bought a Langer. But you've had to loan Ramsdale. The keeper that got relegated was Southampton. You've had to loan him. Unbelievable. I honestly don't think that's where they needed to strengthen. I know Nick Pope's got his weaknesses, but he's still a decent goalkeeper. I'd have him at Man United tomorrow. Might not have Ramsdale at Man United tomorrow now. Like, hey. I'd have that shouldn't keep out of Man United tomorrow, if I'm being totally honest. Moving on. Brighton hosting Fulham. At the 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. How do you see that going, Gary?
I can see both teams struggling for goals here. I'm gonna have 1-1.
1-1. I'll probably got now to each, Gary. I just didn't see a lot of goals at all. They've obviously Brighton's lost their main striker. Fulham haven't brought anybody in. They could be losing their main striker. So I'm gonna go nails each, mate. And I'll put them on when anybody comments what they think it'll be. Sunderland's opening game of the season is at home. They are hosting West Ham. How do you see that going for Sunderland, mate?
Like I say, I think I can see West Ham struggling this season, and Sunderland, the fans should be up for it. First home game, Premier League home game of the season for what? 10 years? How long? When was the last time they played Premier League? Been a while.
I think they beat Newcastle the last time they played in the Premier League.
It's been a while. They'll be up for it, and they've got every right to be. It's like Premier League's back in Sunderland. I think they're going to win. I'm going to say 2-0 to Sunderland. Yeah,
just quickly, Ferry went for the Desmond Tutu for the previous game, which was Fulham and Brighton, and Jake Hall went for noughts each. Ferry's gone for ones each. He's a Mackham. He's a Sunderland fan, so that's very honest of him. And Jake Hall's gone for Sunderland 1-0. West Ham Stadium should be rocking. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Sunderland. I just think they've bought well. It's the first game of the season. Granted, Jack knows exactly how to get a dressing room up for any game. I just think they're going to come out and they're going to do well. I'm going 3-1 to Sunderland.
Just not against Man U.
Yeah, not against Man U. They'll beat the Toon. I don't think the Toons beat them in the Premier League for 13 years, you know.
I don't know.
Nah. Well,
the
last 6, I think, in the Premier League, they haven't beat them. I might be wrong. Tell us in the comments if I'm wrong. Tottenham host Burnley in Burnley's opening Premier League fixture. How do you see that going, Gary?
I can only see a Spurs win here, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna say 2-0 to Spurs.
I'm going to go the opposite way, mate. I think Burnley again will have the buzz about them, and I think Spurs are vulnerable, especially the stadium it's the best stadium in the Premier League. Let's not beat about the bush. It is. It's a very good stadium, and when the fans is gone, the stadium's up. That's not a game where I think the fans will be up for it. I think it'll get off to a boring start. Everybody will be getting back in and getting their prawn sandwiches, etc., etc. And I just think Burnley will nick a 1-0 win. That's what I'm going for. Why?
No way.
Ferry saying the strikers incoming for Sunderland tonight, lads. Good. Did they play 4-4-2, Sunderland? Ferry. Because that is Isidore or something. He would be starting every game for me. I love him. Jake Hall's gone for 3-0 to Spurs. And we'll move on to the final game. 5:30 on the Saturday. It's Wolves are hosting Manchester City. How do you see it, Gary?
I cannot see anything but a City win here. I think it'll be convincing as well. I'm going to say 4-0 to City.
4-0 to City. Maybe it's 3-1. Wolves might get a goal, but I think City will just be too strong for them. Moving on to Sunday, Paul. The most important day. It starts at 2 o'clock, and it's Chelsea against Crystal Palace. How do you see that one going, mate?
I mean, obviously Chelsea's at home kicking the Premier League season off, but I like watching Palace, and I think they're a decent side. They've got some good players. I can see a draw here. I'm going to say 1-1.
Aye, Gary, I think I'm going to echo that, mate. I'm going to go in for 2-2, but only if nobody comes in this week and texts Eze or Mateta or Wharton. For that matter.
That would change.
It'll change, and I think Chelsea will dominate it. But I'm going to go for 2s each as well, mate. You went 1-1, I went 2-2. Moving on to Nottingham Forest against Brentford is another 2:00 kickoff, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm right, that every game on Sunday is being televised live. Yes, it is. So both 2:00 games is getting televised. Just quickly though, Jake Hall went 3-0 to City. Lee Fairgrieve has gone 2-1 to the Eagles, and fancy Palace after watching that yesterday, says Jake.
They're not a bad side.
Nah. Nottingham Forest, Brentford, how do you see it going, mate?
Brentford lost a few. I think Forest will win that at home. I'm going to say 2-1 Forest.
2-1, I'm going to go for 1s each. I just don't think either team have really got it gone. So, I'm going for 1-1. You're going 2-1 Forest. Then, finally, eventually, back to Old Trafford. The Theatre of Dreams. Manchester United hold Arsenal in the opening fixture of the season. Barry went 1s each with Nottingham Forest, by the way. How do you see this going, Gary?
I think it's going to be one of them games where it's cagey start. Arsenal will not know what to sort of expect, and like what they done last season, although they were like they'd been much better than what Arsenal still came to our ground, and that always wary of what we can do to them. And I think it'll be one of them games. But I think we're going to nick it 2-1.
Aye.
Aye.
Jake said Forest and Brentford, they'll both struggle. He's gone for 1-1. Martin Kenza said Forest will smash Brentford 4-5. Now, Brentford manager's hopeless, and the lost star players and Wissa's gone as well. Where's he gone? He'd be waiting at 2030 if he wants to get on the tune. Lee Fairgrieve is going for 2-1 Man United. Damien DGR is going for 3-1 United. Sesko, Kunan and Bembo. He loves it. He loves the new players, doesn't he? Come on, United. 2-1 Jake Hall says, United. And I'm going to go for 3 now to Man United. I just think that, honestly, I can see goals in this United team. I can. And I don't know, like you just said, Arsenal come to United, they took the win last time, but that was because it was the last minute, you know what I mean? You can remember when it was absolutely pissing down and we got shut. But prior to that, Gary, we beat them with 10 men doing there. They don't know what they're getting. Gokares will be all over him. Lenny Yoro will be all over him. Harry Maguire will be in his back. It'll, I don't know. I've just got a good feeling about Sunday, and I think if we do that, what I said on Sunday, win 3-0, honestly, it just...
We've got a tough start of the season, haven't we? We've got a tough start of the season. Need to get a couple of good wins. Need to. Otherwise, it could go pear-shaped and fast.
Jeff Turnbull saying 5-0 Arsenal. Fuck Man United. I don't know where his hatred comes from, Man United. He's a fucking Mackham. For fuck's sake, Jeff. Kieran DGR, believer, if he comes and Bruno with his assists. I hope he. Is he still alive? Who, Fazza? Who's he on about? Who just been talking about?
I don't know.
No. Right. And then on the Monday, finishing off the Premier League. Leeds is the opening fixture of the Premier League. They're back again. Oh, he's on about Harry Maguire. Of course, he's still alive. He's a pivotal character in the Premier, in the changing room at Old Trafford, man. You nutter. Yeah, go on, Jeff, lad. Someone talking sense. Make Divin, because he'll be calling you in a minute his real mate. He must be on one. Leeds against Everton, a good opening fixture for Leeds, mate. It's a winnable game, isn't it? How do you see it, Gan?
I think Everton will beat them 2-1.
Do you? I'm going to go Leeds 3-1. It's a good run to Gartner, even though I really dislike them.
It's a scary one.
Oh, it is. And I just think Leeds is first game of the season. It's a Monday night under the lights. I can see a 3-1 win. Is Onana injured for the season? I hope so, Jake, but I didn't think so, mate. I think he's
back in training today, wasn't he?
He's showing signs of coming back, but I think he'll leave. Like, I hope so. Damien saying Everton will win 2-1 with Grealish. It'll be the decent side. Jake Hall 1-0 to the Leeds scum. Oh, decent it says Damien DJ. Oh, right. So let's quickly do where you think everybody will finish this season, Gary. So have you got your phone in front of you?
Yep.
So we'll start from the bottom up. Who do you think will get relegated?
I'm gonna say, I think Wolves, West Ham, and Burnley.
Wolves, West Ham, and Burnley.
Aye.
I'm gonna go for Brentford, Burnley, and Newcastle. Brentford, Burnley, and Wolves. That's who I'm going for. So, top 10. Who's your top 10, Gary? Who's going to finish 10th?
Newcastle. I'll put Newcastle in the top 10.
Oh, yeah?
Aye.
Right,
then I'll go. Where were you going?
I'm going Sunderland.
To finish 10th?
I think they'll have a good season.
There. I'll stick Spurs up there.
Oh, yeah?
Aye. Villa.
Right, so you're going what? Newcastle, Spurs, Villa.
Aye, well, I don't know what this.
7th.
I'm gonna put Palace up there.
Palace in 7th, 6th.
Brighton. And then I'm going to go. I think Man U's going to finish just outside.
Who?
Man United. I think they'll come 5th.
Yes, I'm muting this one. That's it. Muted. I'm not putting up with that shit. Oh.
Chelsea. City. Arsenal, and then Liverpool.
No. That's third.
So I think it'll be Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Man United. Top 5.
Well, I've already said who I think's going to get relegated, right? And I think Sunderland will finish 10th, Newcastle will finish 9th. And then I'm going to go for Palace in 8th. And then Villa 7th. Chelsea 6th. Top 5. Chelsea. What did I say? Chelsea 6th.
It's easier to start from 1.
1. I think Man United's going to win the league. Honestly, I think Man United are going to win. They've got no European football, man. I'm telling you, last season, if we scored goals before, we had plenty of chances. We didn't put the ball in the net, and then within 10, 15 minutes, we end up conceding, and then that's it. Their heads were gone. They didn't know how to get back in it. They didn't want the ball. They didn't know what to do with the ball. I'm telling you, it's a different season. Man United first. Man United first, right? And then I'm going to go for Man City second, Liverpool third, Arsenal fourth. And I think there'll be a surprise in fifth. I think there'll be a surprise in fifth. I think, I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to say. But Man United win the league for me. Definitely, 100%. 100%. 50 quid. J. Cole saying he's got on at 28-1. I'll put 100 on at 40-1. I can't believe how disrespectful that was. 40-1 for Man United to win the league. Absolutely.
It'll not be that new, but what's
No,
it
no.
do? 28?
25s. Man United or Newcastle are 50s new. Mental. But I honestly, I was being generous to Newcastle there, putting them ninth, because I honestly think that they're going to struggle this season. You know, with European football, they haven't purchased, they haven't got enough squad depth. And the last time they did that, mate, they had a really, really poor season. And I think they'll get.
See, I just think I just think there could be a lot that happens in the last 2 weeks of this transfer window. That's all. Something will happen.
Perry the Platypus there. He's in the group chat, sitting slagging Spurs off, saying they dropped off towards the end of the season. Is that the same Spurs that beat you in the Europa League final? The same final you had won in September after the first game. I know, man. But you know what? It just, you know, that final. It could have been a relegation final, couldn't it? It was that poor. Did you see the goal that won it? Did you see the goal that won a Europa League final? Absolutely pathetic, honestly. And you know what? I said it on 5 Live. I went on 5 Live and they kind of cut us off. They weren't expecting us to say it. I says, when we were playing in the semi-final, I says, will it be the be-all and end-all of Man United going out tonight? Absolutely not. Need Champions League football, need distraction next season. It's exactly what they need. They didn't need to be playing like Thursdays and Sundays, mate. You know, Wednesdays and Sundays. They need a season out. They haven't got the squad for it. They're not ready.
The manager said that, didn't he?
Aye.
He says we didn't need Champions League or Europe for the money. We just didn't need it. We're commercial juggernauts.
Aye.
Nothing.
We'll buy who we want. We'll buy who we want. We're Man United. We'll buy who we want. Right. That's it, Gary. The first show done, an hour and a half long. It's been brilliant crack. We'll be back on what, next Monday?
Aye, there's a game. Did you say there's a game on next Monday?
Game on, aye. We'll maybe get on like an hour earlier or something and just do an hour. We'll do like
Okay.
aye. I am going to play these things to see what out, the animations and stuff, but I'll have to change it because obviously it's Garnacho. I'm not having that little spoiled prick on my, what do you call it? But thanks very much, mate, and thanks very much, everybody, for joining words. Being good crack. Gary set that fantasy league up for us. Talking Turf Fantasy League. Get it going, and we'll put it on Facebook. We'll get as many people as possible. 10 are each to join. Last place gets their money back. Winner scoops it all. May the best man win. Have plenty of Man United players in.
See you.